Okay, we're going to start again. Here's part 2 of the SASS Premier Scoring tutorial. In part 2, we're going to look at sending out registration forms. One of the things you want to do when you're getting ready for your annual, or maybe you're putting on a regional, you want to get a registration form out to your shooters as soon as you can. That way they can make plans to either be at be at your match if they're going to be in the area. So one of the things that the program allows you to do is send out mass emails. Now, of course, you have to have Outlook in order to do this, but Outlook is a good email provider, and you can use it to bring in Gmail, Yahoo, or any of the mailings. So what we're going to do first of all, let's take a look at one of the built-in registration forms. We can do that. Everything in your system is located in the SASS Premier directory. And what you can do is go to your SASS Premier directory and scroll down through, and in there you'll find a form called registration. And it's right here. There's different there's PDF now. I have different ones in here. Then you can look at them to see what if you want. Let's take a look at this one first. They're basically just Word documents that you can modify and bring up. So let's just bring up this one. Let's bring this. Okay, here's the document. Now you can go in and change any. This will fill in your club name, the regional name. You want to put your dates, so you could change your dates to whatever it is. Say we're going to do 2000. This is going to be, maybe we're going to look at our September, and to the 24th. We'll go to the 24th, and I think we're starting on the 18th. That's when the Wild Bunch started. And so you can put in here whatever you want, and you can put the signature in. Schedule, check-ins, side matches, and so forth on down through the line, and how many of the ammunition. So you can just go through and do whatever you want in here, make anything. This then fills out the form. Let's go ahead and we'll do, it's a mail merge. So if you go to the mailing, I like to do the step by step, and I can do step 3, step 4. And what it does, it brings up and it fills in all this information. And you can check, so it allows the user to go through. It's already filled in. If they need to change it, they can write in a posse with the shooting time per shooter, buckaroo, so forth. Those are the, and then to circle their category, make checks payable, whatever it has up to your name and address. Also, what it does, it shows a list of all your events that you're showing. So they can just go through and check these off, fill them out. Basically, you would print it, fill them out, put down the total, and send it in along with their check. So that's the built-in version. Now what you can, so we'll just go ahead and close that. And we're not going to save it because I don't want to save that information in there. I want to leave well, let's cancel that. I'm going to back up for a couple steps here, and I'm going to save this now because that has the new dates in it, and we'll just go ahead and get out of that. Now the other way you can do that is you can create your own form. So if we go back in here, we'll go down, and I think you can create a PDF if you want, and we'll look at, there's a PDF right here. And now I'm going to bring that back over. Okay, so this is basically a PDF of Hell on Wheels. This happens to be their setup. and it's got the fill in. It's a PDF with all the fill-in information, but you can, create one like this with blanks in here. You can just get rid of some of this information. You can also create PDFs that are fill-ins. Let me see if I have a fill-in one here for us that we can look at. Let's take a look at this one. Now, I'm going to pop that up. Part 2, invites and registration. This happens to be from one of the classes that we did. Now, basically, this is a fill-in one. You can create these so that they fill in automatically for you. The user can fill them in on the screen and go through them and do them that way. Now, with this type of a form, what you're going to do, we'll close that out. So let me see what I've got. You can see there are lots of registrations in here, and what you can do is go through and look at these. Here's a PDF one also. Let's take a look at this. No, this is okay. That happens to be the one we looked at before. That was a Hell on Wheels one. This doesn't have any of the information available in it. Okay. So we can go through and fill it in and do so forth. But all right. So yeah, go ahead and look into these. Just look at all these different ones and see if you find one that you feel you like. This happens to be another one that's a registration form. Any of those that you find that you want to use, you can use them or you can create them. Just the thing you want to do is if you create a new one, give it a name, registration, and a number. It can be anything after that. You can see this says fill in one, this says fill in doc, this says PDF, mail in. Anything that you want. This is a winter range one. It's a WR1, WR2. So you can use any one of these. You can remake them, do whatever you want with them. Now, if you're doing that, there is a special, in your report section, there is a thing called special email. Now, in this special email group, what you can do is you can create, this happens to be one that unpopulated category. Take a look at the unpopulated category list attack. And you can send these out in groups. There's all kinds, looking down here, you can create who you want it to go to. This basically this is one of them, but you can send it to all the current match shooters. You can send it to the warm-up match shooters. You can create, or you can send it to all shooters, or you can create groups. Now, in the creating of the groups, that's what you do up here. Now, you'll notice that all of these have the same email address because I didn't want anybody's email address showing up. But you can create groups, any of these groups. Okay? Now, you can also go through, and in this area, you can check email addresses. Now, what this doesn't check to see that it's a valid email address. It just checks to make sure that it is formatted correctly. And this, again, can be sorted by alias, by SASS number, by state. Most of them, everything is Arizona. Okay. Now, you can do selecting a state. And say that you're gonna, okay, well, let's just continue on with this. We'll go back to that later. This can be changed whatever you want. You can put in here, anything like that. And then you can say, please see attached registration form. and this might be your match. Maybe it's we'll just put in Oregon State annual match. So that, and then looking for a special match to attend on your next vacation, please see that. You can say whatever you want in here. Now, the one thing that you can notice is it says attachments can be located in either the C attachments folder or in the Cowboy extracts. All files in the C attachments folder will be sent. If only one file is to be sent, place the name of the file, including the extension in the C clone, and put the name in the thing. I find it easier to go into my attachments directory, which is in my C drive. And you might have to create this directory if it's not there already. I'll jump back. So here's there's attachments. Now in there you will see there's a Siege flyer. Now this is a flyer that was sent out for the 2016 Siege, and if you look at that flyer, you'll see this is Siege at San Juan City 16, and this is a flyer that with their registration form. So what you can do with that attached, you can go ahead. Now that's if you had other things you wanted to send out along with this, anything in the attachments folder will be sent out. So you want to be careful. So if you have, if you've had something in there from one of the other times that you sent something out, you want to make sure that you get rid of those before you send this out. Now, way that works is, say that you want to select by state, okay? This will allow you to pick the state that you want to send out to. So because we only have Arizona in there, let's say we're going to go to Arizona. That's the only state. Now, the system will tell you that there are 148 shooters signed up for the current match from Arizona. Do you want to include them in this email? Now what that's saying is that if you're sending out a reminder to people that your match is coming up, you don't want to send that out to current match shooters. So say that this is and so you're going to say here, do you want to include those? We're going to say no, we don't want to include those. And okay, so Arizona had less than 100 emails. Do you want to split this into groups? If you say yes, it's going to say how many. Well, let's say we're going to put 50 in a group, okay? Okay, your groups have been set up. Check the group, create group mirror for confirmation. So we're going to go back. We're going to get out of this. We're going to go back and we're going to check the groups. Now, if you'll notice, they're set up in groups. Because they were in group 2. So you have two groups set up. Group 1, group 2. And there happens to be so you've got, if you count those, there'll be 50 in each group. What you end up doing then, now you can clear a group. Say that we got some in group 3. We don't want to use that, so we're going to clear group 3. And do we have some in group 4? No. So we just have now group 1, group 2, and nothing in group 3 or group 4. You notice if I click on the top, it sorts them by that group. Okay. So once you get your group set up, you can go and put in your name or whatever you want. You've got your thing. Then you can go through here and say, I want to send to group 1. And when that's done, you can send to group 2. Now, a lot of emails only allow you to send out so many emails a day. I think Gmail is 500 a day, but some of the other ones are 100, some are 200. So check with your email provider to find out which how many you can send out a day. What happens if you go over the limit? They stop sending out for until the next day. So you want to be kind of careful of that. When that's all done, then you can just go into special email, and if you don't have Outlook, then make sure you cancel. There's two different options. I'm not going to send them out because they're all come to me, and I don't want to do that. So in the special email, there's a special you can put the customize the heading. So the heading will say, "Howdy, CD Tom," and then give your email address or your text that you set up. That is the one way to send out your match registration and things like that. The other way is in your special reports, down under registration form. Print registration form, yes. Now we're going to just print out that registration form 1. You can do any of them that you want if you got a number. And registration form will, for all shooters, no, will print only non-registered shooters. So once again, if we've got people registered, we don't want to send out. So we're going to say no, because we're only going to do non. And we can select states for extract. No, we'll select all states. Well, I'm just going to say no because we have them. Now, what the system is doing here, it's going through and building this. It looks like it's in a loop. And this happens to be because Microsoft, in its wisdom, has put a message behind here that says you have, Word is waiting for a response. You'll notice it's not on your list anyplace. It doesn't have anything in there. The only way to find out is do your Alt-Tab, which you will notice you don't see that on your screen because there it is. An Alt-Tab will brings up all the different programs that are running. This is the message that's hiding behind your screen. It looks like it's in a loop, and some people that don't know this end up canceling the program because they think it's looping. Alright, we're going to say yes to this because we're going to opening this document runs the following command. And there's our registration form. Once again, we just go in and do our mailings, and dump, it fills them in. Now what we could do at this point is you could go through and complete the merge. Yeah, let's see. I want to should be able to send these out. There it is. Alright, so by going to mailing, you can now do finish and merge, which would actually go through and finish the merge and email everything out. Now once again, you're going to need to have Outlook as your email, one of your email providers, so that because Word and all Microsoft products work nice together, but they don't work well with other vendors. So I'm not going to do that, but that's the other way of sending it out. What it's done, it's filled in the names of everything. So this would go mail to everybody. And when you do your mailing, it gives you an option to send email message, print document, edit. So we would do this send email message. And what it does, it comes up and says, where do you want to send it to? You have to go to, and you'd pick your email address out of here, which is there. Subject line, you could put, whatever you want in here. And you can send it out as an HTML. I always send them out as attachments. That way it's attached to this. It comes up. HTMLs sometime with the different square inserts that you have, it can create a problem and it doesn't come out looking very good. So just do it as an attachment. If you say OK, it's going to start sending. One of the things when you do send that, again, Microsoft has this little option that comes up and says, you know, do you want to send this? You have to say yes. Do you? And then it sends it out. Then it comes up again. Do you want to send this? Well, if you have 100 or 200 shooters, you're going to be sitting there clicking yes, 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 yes. There is a little program that's called Yes No, and you can. It's a freebie out on the internet, and it's just basically when you start it. And I think I have mine up here running, but I don't see it right now. But anyway, what it does, it automatically answers that yes. So once you click on it, it just enters it, enters it, enters it. And it's much quicker than you sitting there clicking yes, 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 yes. Okay, so let's close that down. Now, once again, I don't want to save this because if I do, it'll save it with all this information in. And we'll say okay. So once we've got our registration forms sent out, we'll probably start getting registration forms coming in. And when they do, we're going to want to start registering shooters. So if we go to register, say we get a couple in here, we're going to go and register shooters. And let's see, I think I'm... Nope, I guess I'm not in this. I don't have me in here. So say that I need to get it. I'm not in. Let's see. I'll go over and try the alias first. Nope, I'm not in there. So let's go ahead and add a new shooter. So we'll go down here and say add a new shooter. Add a new shooter. And at this point, we're going to an alias. And if you have a cell phone, now one of the important things is I always try to get emails in here because that way it's nice and it's a nice way to send out all your scores. You can send out match results and your invitations and everything else. One of the standard required fields is the sex code. And the reason for that is when you're doing big matches like annuals, you want to, and you have shoot-offs, you want to split up the cowboys and the cowgirls. And the only way to do that is by having a sex code in there. There's a lot of other information you can put in there if you're wanting, if they need to sign a release form, you just check that button and it puts the date that the release form was signed. If you want to keep, RO1, RO2, all this information, there's a lot of information you can put into the person's database, into your database. Check the main match. Enter the category. Your match fee. Now at this point, who do they want to shoot with? And on their list you can see that they've got it. So we're going to say just pick a couple here. And okay, so those are the people that they want to shoot with. And also maybe this person is going to be the posse marshal. So you can go over here and click in your posse marshal. At this point, how did he pay? He paid with a check. So if you click the check and put in the amount, it shows he's $0. Now let's go in and add an event to this person. So say he wants to buy a large t-shirt, and maybe we're going to have Friday night dinner, and we're going to give him an early registration fee because he checked in early. You can just continue to put these in as much as you want. Maybe he's going to wants to shoot the AM warm-up match. And enter the AM match into the shooter's. Shooter has to be for the match. Okay, so what it's telling us that we have to register him for the AM match here. So if we go into the registration and enter him here for the warm-up match in his category, we can go in and he's AM warm-up match. Okay, now once he's in there, if we go back to the registration fee, you'll see that he's got his check was for 115. He owes 130, and he's short by $15. We're going to leave it that way because I want to show you there's a report that will show what the registration, whether they owe money or not. He can also, you can sign him up for the Wild Bunch if he's a Wild Bunch shooter. Other than that, we're just going to go ahead and say OK. Now we can go back and register another shooter, and this time we'll pick just pick somebody. We'll pick okay, so prune picker, and he's going to be that. He's a elder statesman duelist. He's a main match. He wants to shoot with. Let's see if we can have CD Tom in here. There he is right there. So he's going to shoot with CD Tom. And he's a check. And $115. But say that his check is for $130 or $130. So now if we go in and put in his extras, large t-shirt, early registration, and Saturday night dinner. Okay. And maybe he'll sign up for the warm-up match, the AM match. Okay, so with all the information, he balances out here now with his total. And this can continue going on. You can continue, you can give him, you know, titles if you want. If there's, you know, somehow he's a VIP or whatever, you can go ahead and give him, maybe he's going to be the posse marshal deputy. Now, once you're done with your registration, one of the things you would like to do is send out a confirmation letter. Confirmation letters, just I usually do this at the end of each week. I wait until I get all the shooters in, or as many for the week, and then turn around and send out a confirmation letter. Once again, your confirmation letters are in the SASS Premier directory. And you print me confirmation letter, yes, no, or verify what we're going to do. I'm just going to pick one right now, and I'll show you those confirmation letters. And we can say select email only because we're going to send these confirmation letters out via email. Once again, you're going to sit here and it's going to look like it's in a loop because it's doing that merge. And behind there is the program. Now, if you look at your taskbar, task window, you will see that Microsoft Word is running, okay? But you don't see it running. And one of the ways to get, of course, to get that to run is to, we're not going to end it. We're going to do the Alt Tab. And there it is once we picked it up. And again, it's end of trail. This happens to be the confirmation letter. Start the mail merge. And it fills it in. Now, of course, you can then go in and do your finish and merge, which will send it all out. If you know for who they're going to go to. If you let's complete the merge. Looks okay. So then you could just do your email, send out your mail merge, start the the merge. So once you've got that done, you can send it. Now in here you'll find that, like I said, let's go in and show some of the letters that are available. And well, once you're done, it says, do you want to print a list? If you hit yes, it will print a confirmation list of all the confirmation letters that you sent out. We're going to say no to that. And you can print mailing labels. So say that you have to send some out that or don't have emails. I find it easier to use like a number 10 windowed envelope and make sure that I set up the confirmation letter so that the address will fit into that window. Otherwise, if you're using mailing labels, you can get messed up and put the wrong label on the wrong envelope. And now at this point it says where the confirmation letter is successful. If we click yes, it's going to mark those as already been sent. So after you get your next group of shooters registering, you can send out. It won't send those out. So you can go back and do. I'm going to say yes to this and show you if you need to resend one, what you can do. So I said yes. Now say that someone calls and says, that you registered and they didn't get your confirmation letter. If you go into register shooters, and we'll call up myself and go to additional shooters information, you will see that it says the confirmation letter was printed on this date. So but if you uncheck that way this person will now get next time you send out confirmation letters, it will send another one out to that. If for some reason your email really messed up and none of them got sent out, you can go into your match setup. I'm going to cancel. And right here you can reset confirmation letter switch. So if we click that, it says clear confirmation and no will clear by a specific date. So say that you only wanted to clear those that you sent out on 9/6. You could say no and it will come up and ask you for the date. We'll just go ahead and say clear them all. Okay. You can continue to do your registration. Once that is done, let's do one. If you have let's do one with an RV site in it, and that's if you have an RV park at your. We're going to go into Shooters Extras, And let's just scroll down here to a blank line, and let's say we're going to do RV. Okay, and we're going to go over here and we're going to do it for 7 days. And now at that point, once we've entered that, it says, do you want to assign an RV space? If we say yes, display all spaces, yeah, we're going to say we're going to display all the. Now what it does, it comes up with your RV site that you set up. We have a full hookup here. Now it's very simple. Say we're going to put him in A001. If you double click in the assign to, that person's name will go in there, and then you can put in your arrival date, and because there was 7 days in the total, it's going to add 7 dates to that, and you can come up with that. So that has assigned him that RV spot. And it gives a total of $70, because remember we charge $10 a day for the RV spike. Okay, so that's how you can use your RV site to let's go back and take a look and see. See, there I am. Okay. Alrighty, so we're back now at the beginning, and of course we now owe $85 because we just added a $70 RV spot. So if we go in and look at our reports, there is a report in here called balance billing due, or balance due report, payment registered. Okay, so what this is going to do, it'll bring up the report. Okay, here's your balance due report. It shows all the people, if they owe money, and you'll see that CD Tom owes $85. If you print this report out, you have that. If there's a refund due, this guy sent too much money, so he can get he has a refund coming. Same way with this person. So this gives you a total. Now, if you look at this report, this is basically the your complete file with all the registration people. And if we skip to the bottom, it shows how much we've got coming in. Okay. Print those reports out. There's other reports. This for the main, you can do a main match registration. This will create a PDF if you want. We're going to just cancel this once. This gives a total of young guns, main match, young and so forth, and what they've you've got a total of 150 shooters. This breaks it down by category. 49er, B Western, Cattle Baron, Classic Cowboy, Cowgirl, so forth. And at the tail end it shows, okay. This says, flags if they're a zero amount. So those are some of the reports that you get when you do your registration. You can also do your shooter's category. Take a look at that. Once again, it allows you to create a PDF. Let's go back and make sure. Let's take a look at that, and we'll do a category list for the main match. And if we do yes to this, it'll tell you that a PDF is located in the Cowboy Extracts directory. File name, category list main match with a date. So if we go to our Cowboy Extracts directory, which is in the C drive, Cowboy Extracts, there's the main, it also creates an RTF, which is a rich text format. It's a Word document that allows you to make notations and stuff on it. But then you have your PDF, which basically is that same report. Some people like to know what categories they're shooting. This can be marked up. This could be sent out. This could be attached to an email if you wanted to. Like in that special email, you could send this out. At end of trail, we used to, when we did our posse assigning, we used to send out all the posse assignments, email them, attach them, and email them. And it became, no, we have no, we'll go back and do, in our next group, we'll show you how to assign posses. Okay, so that should take care of registration. So I will sign off and look for part 3.